Sunday afternoon at Turner Field, Atlanta. We welcome you on a Memorial Day weekend. It is the Brewers and the Braves, and this series sponsorship presented by Chevrolet. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Turner Field. Great to have you with us this afternoon. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Sophia Minott is our reporter. We'll hear from her in just a little bit. Well, Jimmy Nelson is on the mound today for Milwaukee, coming off a terrific start against the Detroit Tigers. And Rock, the Brewers not only have a chance to split in this series, but make it a 500 road trip.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Jimmy already with a win on this road trip on Tuesday against Detroit, and probably one of his best starts as a Brewer in a couple of years now. He had everything working for him, curveball slotted, but the impressive pitch for Nelson in that game against Detroit was the two-seamer. He had 14 ground ball outs through 8 innings of work. Outstanding job. Last 5 innings, the Detroit Tigers did not hit a ball into the outfield, so that's how good he was. He needs to continue that if he hopes this Brewers team can get back to Miller Park with a 500 road trip.
Well, this is a big start for Jimmy Nelson. For him personally, he grew up in Niceville, Florida. He grew up a diehard Atlanta Braves fan. He was a huge John Smoltz fan, and he makes his first career start against Atlanta here today in a ballpark that he enjoyed as a youngster. The road trip finale's coming your way. We're ready for first pitch on this Sunday. Mike Foltynewicz against Jimmy Nelson. Game 4 of this series right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers. It's Miller time. Sunday afternoon in Atlanta. What a beautiful day we have today. 75 degrees at Turner Field. Final game of the road trip for Milwaukee. Wrapping up a 10-gamer. There is Mike Foltynewicz. Hard-throwing right-hander that the Braves got from the Astros. And his first pitch is in there for a strike, and away we go. So glad you could be with us, and we salute all of our military members watching in today on a day and a weekend that we think about those who lost their lives in combat serving our country. And a beautiful Memorial Day setup for tomorrow at Miller Park. The Brewers finally returning home tomorrow against the Giants. Luis Sardinia strikes out, and that's how the day begins for Mike Foltynewicz. And Rock, let's take a look at the Brewers lineup today, and noticeably absent from the lineup, Ryan Braun and Aramis Ramirez. So the Brewers and Craig Counsell are doing a little mixed matching here.
Well, you got to figure those guys are going to need some time off, particularly Ryan Braun. Hadn't had a day off in a while. Ramirez just getting to that point in his career where he just can't play every day. So the Brewers are going with the utility players for the most part, and we'll see how it works out.
First time Carlos Gomez has hit third this season as Gerardo Parra takes a ball high. Sardinas, Parra, Gomez at the top of the order for Counsell's Brewers today. The Brewers lost a heartbreaker yesterday in 11 innings. A 3-2 final score. It was Jace Peterson who had the walk-off hit, the Braves second baseman. Counsell talking about that game last night. There were so many opportunities for both teams to grab the lead throughout the game. Ultimately, the Braves did. That ball's deep, got some carry to it. Back to the track goes Maven. And there is out number 2.
Well, let's check out the Braves Menards defense, ranked 5th in the National League with only 22 errors so far this year. Cunningham, Maven, and Markakis in the outfield. Siriaco, Andrelton Simmons, who has committed only 1 error so far this year. Peterson and Freeman second and first, and A.J. Pierzynski, the veteran, behind home plate.
Well, Mike Foltynewicz making his 5th start. He began the year in AAA Gwinnett and came to the Braves part of the deal with the Astros. They did so much trading this offseason under new president of baseball operations, John Hart. He was one of them. Evan Gattis was the one that the Braves traded to Houston. Had a couple of trades with the Padres, had a significant deal involving Shelby Miller and Jason Hayward with the Cardinals. Foltynewicz likes to work fast. He is a very hard thrower. The book on him, Rock, and you've seen him a little bit. He is a raw right-handed pitcher, just getting his feet wet in the big leagues this year.
Yeah, got touched up a little bit in his last time out, a loss against the Rays. 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs. But when he gets his curveball over, he can be very tough. He's throwing already at 97 miles an hour. Pretty straight to fastball. There's that pitch right there.
And he strikes out Gomez, and that was an impressive first inning on 10 pitches for Mike Foltynewicz. A couple of Ks. Today, Brewers are excited to be coming home after this one. Got a day game tomorrow, Memorial Day at Miller Park. Hope to see you there. Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves They've gotten things to 500 at 21-21. Been a bit of a surprise team in the National League East. Supposed to be in a bit of a rebuilding mode right now, but that has not been the case. They're right in the picture in their division. Braves batting order has Jace Peterson, Cameron Maybin, Freddie Freeman at the top. In the middle, it's Markakis, Todd Cunningham, and A.J. Pierzynski. Andrelton Simmons, Pedro Siriaco, and Mike Foltynewicz will round it out. And that's the lineup that will face big Jimmy Nelson getting his first ever start at Turner Field. You know he's pumped up for it. Grew up rooting for the Braves, attending some games here at this ballpark. His 9th start of the year, and he might have had his best of the season his last time out.
Yeah, 8 innings, 1 run, only 3 hits. The Detroit Tigers able to muster in a win against the Tigers, and putting together a very good month of May is Jimmy Nelson. 4 starts, a 349 earned run average, but only a 1-2 record.
They got 2 pitchers, very young pitchers, that throw hard, excellent stuff. Be a fun day to watch from the mound today. Foltynewicz is off to a great start. He threw 9 strikes his first 10 pitches to retire the side in order. It was the star from yesterday's game. He had his first career walk-off hit as a big leaguer. A base hit in the 11th inning to win the game for Atlanta. Talented young second baseman. There's a strike, 2-2 the count.
Yeah, both teams, as you mentioned, a lot of opportunities to win in yesterday's ball game, particularly the Brewers in extra innings. Had a man at third base with nobody out, not able to score. So opportunities missed in yesterday's game.
That was the real underlying theme of the game. Whoever lost yesterday's game was going to be able to say the same thing, because both teams had a ton of base runners. There was some excellent defense played. Had some double plays turned. The Braves were able to turn 2 huge double plays in yesterday's game. Payoff pitch coming to Peterson. Got him. That nasty sinking fastball from Jimmy Nelson. Now the Brewers with the series all tied at 1 apiece going into the 11th, and this was the walk-off hit by Jace Peterson, and you could tell how excited he was. And for a young player, Rock, to be able to have a moment like that, that's when you really start to feel like you're part of the club, especially when you're traded.
And the Brewers have been handling pretty well throughout the series. Only 1 hit, before yesterday's game, and first pitch from Brandon Kinsler after a visit from Rick Kranitz. He had a couple of hits yesterday, including that walk-off. Well, yeah, they think a lot of this guy. They got Kelly Johnson, who's on the disabled list, who you figure is going to get some playing time. So, going to be interesting.
Cameron Maybin continues to hit second for Atlanta, and he's done a good job in that 2 spot. Freddie Gonzalez shifting up his batting order a little bit. It had been a bit of a revolving door in the 2 spot, but in every game in this series, his top of the order, the first 4 batters have been the same: Peterson, Maybin, Freeman, and Markakis.
And that's really what you like to see if you're going to have some consistent offense, at least at the top. The first 4 or 5 pretty much the same every day. The Brewers have not had that luxury this year. A different lineup just about every day.
The slider from Nelson. He had all 3 of his pitches going against Detroit. The fastball was excellent. Had a terrific curveball, that new curveball he has broken out this year, the spiked curveball, and his signature pitch is typically his slider.
And because of the curveball, he's found that pitch again. It was very good against the Tigers. So basically, he went from last year a 1-pitch guy with a very inconsistent breaking ball to a pitcher now that has 3 pitches that he has a lot of confidence in.
Back-to-back 3-2 counts for Jimmy Nelson. And he misses. And a walk. So Maybin showing some patience. He is aboard for Freddie Freeman. Take a look at the Menards Brewers defense today.
Yeah, Chris Davis, Carlos Gomez, and Gerardo Parr. No Ryan Braun to start this one today. Herrera, Sardinhas, Hector Gomez, and Adam Lind from third to first, and Maldonado behind home plate.
Here's Freddie Freeman, outstanding first baseman. Freeman coming in with a batting average over 300. He's hitting .301. The Brewers do employ a shift with Freeman at the plate. It's an interesting shift in that the third baseman Herrera moves over into the second base position. You slide Gomez into the hole there. So Sardinhas stays put. The only player really out of position is Elian Herrera.
But is he really? He plays second base too, so that's why you put him there, right?
There's a pop-up. Chris Davis is coming in, and he's got it for the out. Freeman retired, 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring up Nick Markakis. And a change in our umpiring crew here today. Tom Woodring is at third base. There is no Chad Fairchild. The crew chief is out at second base, Jim Joyce, even though he had the plate last night. If you're, keeping a close eye on the umpire rotations.
And why wouldn't you?
I'm telling you. Marvin Hudson is calling the balls and strikes. Two away, Nick Markakis at the plate. Jimmy Nelson, 25 years of age. Got to be a thrill for him today. Played his college ball at Alabama.
You just hope he's able to concentrate that energy in a positive. Sometimes you get a little bit cranked up when you come back to the area. You got a lot of friends and family. You're playing against a team that you grew up watching and admiring, and sometimes you get out of your game a little bit.
The Brewers have kept director of team travel Dan Larea busy this week in Atlanta. They got a ton of players from Georgia and have Georgia ties. Jason Rogers and Jimmy Nelson has a lot of friends close to this area.
Will Smith in the headlines for all the wrong reasons.
And Jonathan Broxton's a Georgia native as well. Oh, and 2 the count on Markakis. 1-2 now.
Smith got into the game yesterday. I would imagine that that felt good, getting him feeling that he was able to get out there an inning in the third. Threw well, struck out 3, so he's back on the saddle. Not for sure how long. Probably get a decision from baseball on Tuesday on his appeal.
Yeah, there's going to be a suspension coming. Right now the suspension is at 8 games. And the Brewers and Will Smith hoping that is reduced. Ball and 2 strikes. Runner goes. Throw to second. Maldonado gets him. Right on the bag. Maven is cut down. Boy, Martin fired a bullet to second. And the inning ends with Markakis at the plate. We head to the second. Martin Maldonado is throwing the ball about as well as anybody in the game right now. Columbia St. Mary's worth another look. A speedy base runner, and Maldonado cuts down Cameron Maben to end the inning.
All about the footwork from Maldonado, and he's able to get those quick feet in position. He's able to stay on top, and that ball straight as a string to second base. There was a stretch early in the road trip where the balls were sailing on a little bit high, but he's got that figured out. Threw out 2 base runners in yesterday's game.
Adam Lind will lead off for Milwaukee. Lind, Davison, Herrera against Mike Foltynewicz. Book on Foltynewicz is that his command is an issue. Didn't show that in the first inning, though. He threw 10 pitches, 9 of them for strikes, and had 2 strikeouts. He's falling behind Adam Lind 3-0. And he walked him on 4 straight.
There you go. On cue. He's got a 4-seamer and 2-seamer. He'll throw a curveball and a slider. Occasional changeup. He's not going to throw too many of those. But yeah, big kid, 6'4", 200 pounds, only 23 years old. Made 16 appearances last year with the Astros, all coming out of the bullpen.
Well, it came up through the Astros minor league system as part of the piggyback system, which is an interesting system that Houston tried to get some extra rest for their minor league pitchers, but also put them into key spots, high leverage spots. Basically, it would be 2 pitchers who would work together in pairs. The piggyback system. One would start one day, the next time around the other guy would start, and then the partner would come in relief, and you try to get through games with just 2 pitchers, or maybe 2 pitchers and a closer. And whether that works or not is still to be determined. One of the problems the Braves have had with Foltynewicz is getting him deep into games.
And that's probably why he never has had to do that, right?
Davis skies this one out towards Maben for the out.
Not sure how you build up arm strength and get your pitchers used to pitching deep into games when you do that, but hey, seems to be working for the Astros right now. They got a pretty good pitching staff in the big leagues. They've been impressive so far this year, the Astros.
There's still some talk, and I think the Astros were maybe leaning this way with Foltynewicz as well, from those I've spoken with, that he might end up being a closer in the big leagues, a late inning reliever. He's a guy that regularly hit triple digits, hit 100 miles an hour when he was coming up in the Astros system, but not showing that as a starting pitcher. You can't keep that kind of velocity going as a starter. Elian Herrera with a runner at first and 1 away.
Relying a little bit more on the 2-seamer in this second inning than he did in the first. A lot of 4-seam fastballs in the upper 90s.
Herrera started at second base yesterday, had 2 hits. Brewers had double-digit hits yesterday. They had 10 base hits in yesterday's game, but only scored 2. Stranding 9 yesterday across 11 innings. And Herrera waves and misses. An emergency swing trying to foul it off, and it's the 3rd strikeout for Foltynewicz.
Hey, next Sunday is another all-fans Sunday at Miller Park as the Brewers take on the Diamondbacks, and all fans in attendance get a bobblehead of former Brewers owner Bud Selig. That's courtesy of IBS Dynaman. For tickets, visit Brewers.com today.
Brewers will be home for 6 across 7 days. Swing and a miss. Hector Gomez falls behind.
Yeah, nobody's really seen anybody. Nobody in the Brewers lineup has seen Foltynewicz, and on the flip side, no Atlanta Brave in the starting lineup has ever seen Jimmy Nelson, at least in the big leagues.
Quickly 0-2.
Early advantage pitcher most of the time.
Inning started with a walk. Still at first is Adam Lind. Little roller out to third. This is Siriaco. He'll take the easy way to second. And 2 in the books for the Braves starter.
At Turner Field in the bottom of the second, we take a look at our DraftKings players to watch, featuring 2 players from this series. You see what Freddie Freeman did yesterday, 1 for 4, a double and RBI for him, and today's starter Jimmy Nelson, what he has been able to do over his last 4 starts, a 3.49 earned run average along with 25 strikeouts, and Jimmy Nelson finally able to get that elusive second win of the season, going all the way back to his first start. A terrific 8-inning performance for him against the Tigers, just 1 run on 3 hits for him. And talk to him about his fastball command in that outing. He said it was just terrible the first 3 innings, just didn't have that 4-seam fastball going. So a conversation between he, Maldonado, and pitching coach Rick Kranitz, they decided to go with a lot more sinkers, and he was very effective with that, was able to get 15 ground ball outs along with 5 strikeouts there. So he said it was just a lesson to stick with what is working, and manager Craig Counsell said it just shows that when Jimmy Nelson has that fastball movement, that he can trust that pitch, and that's the pitch he needs to rely on along with that curveball.
All right, Sophia, thanks. It is the longest outing for Jimmy Nelson of his career. Twice this year he's gone 8 innings. Most pitches he had thrown in a game as well this season, 108 against the Tigers. And it was an 8-1 victory.
He's really only had 1 bad start this year. That was at Cincinnati. 7 runs in 2 1/3 innings. Other than that, he's been pretty consistent.
Markakis leads off. He was at the plate at the caught stealing, so he's getting an extra look here at Jimmy Nelson. Cameron Maybin was cut down to end the inning. Markakis hitting at 308, but still without a home run. Among a group of players with the most hits without a home run at this point. Bouncing ball, tough hop. Oh, nice play. Lynn fires to Nelson for the out.
Yeah, wow. You know, angling back, ended up catching a very tough hop, but able to keep it in the glove, and a good job by Nelson to get there. Caught in between, he backpedaled, thinking he was going to be able to get a better hop, but check this out. Ends up catching a very tough hop and making a play. Well done.
Off balance throw on the run too. That was an extremely difficult hop. You could see that one had a potential to eat him up. Instead, it's a ground out. First of the day for Jimmy Nelson. We'll be keeping an eye on those ground ball outs. That's such a big part of Jimmy's story. And there's a base hit. Todd Cunningham swinging away at the first pitch, on his way to second base with a double. So the first hit of the day comes from switch hitter Todd Cunningham. He's made the most of his opportunities. His third double pushes his batting average near 400.
Man, not a bad pitch. It might have caught a little bit too much of the plate, but it was down, and Cunningham just waits on it and slices it down the line. Good piece of hitting on a decent pitch.
And Nelson will go into the stretch here with A.J. Pierzynski coming up. The 38-year-old A.J. Pierzynski. Now with his 5th team in the last 4 years. Originally a member of the Minnesota Twins. He came up with Minnesota, went to San Francisco. Most recently with St. Louis last year. And he shares time behind the plate with Christian Bethancourt, a young catcher. Pierzynski's swinging the bat well. He's doing a good job behind the plate, despite catching in the big leagues at 38 years of age. Freddie Gonzalez knows he's got to be careful with him. He's got to give him his off days.
He's been very engaged with the pitchers and Bethancourt, trying to bring the young catcher along a little bit. They say around here he's been a very good teammate.
And I like the philosophy with their young catcher Bethancourt. He has been promoted throughout the minor league system. Hasn't put up great numbers though. And once he got to the big leagues, they brought in Pierzynski, and they told the young catcher, look, you're going to have to earn your playing time. This is A.J. Pierzynski here. He's a veteran, very well respected, handles the pitching staff. If you're going to play and you're going to fight your way in the lineup, it will not be handed to you, which is a good way to handle it. Maldonado fires one to second. Sardinius makes sure it doesn't go into center field.
Yeah, but it's a smart move for the Braves. I mean, you bring up a young kid, you learn from Pierzynski, who's very willing to help out. One guy just starting out, the other guy has a lot of years under him and is probably don't have that many years left.
I would imagine A.J. Pierzynski will issue a little bit of tough love for the young catcher Bethancourt. That seems to be his style.
You just get that sense, do you? He's always been like
based
that, right?
on his actions on the field all these years. Ooh, a defensive swing on a 3-1 count. Nelson going with a breaking ball there.
Yeah, Pierzynski's saying, I'm swinging. It's got to be a fastball, but Nelson throws one out of the zone, and he tried to hold up, couldn't.
Full count. Runner at second after a 1-out double by Cunningham. Ooh, broke his bat. Little flare. Coming in is Herrera, and he's got time with Pierzynski running and makes the play for the out.
Yeah, had the right guy running down the line. You talk about getting eaten up inside. That was a jam sandwich right there from Pierzynski. A 3-2 pitch. That ball almost hits him. And just barely gets out of the reach of Nelson. Good play by Herrera on the bare hand.
That is the epitome of a knuckle buster. Good patience by Herrera. So 2 men are out for Andrelton Simmons.
You ever get jammed like that?
Oh, all the time. That's the primary reason I'm sitting up here with you today.
And me as well. Doesn't feel good.
Oh man, I could. Muscle memory still works right there. The bees in the hands.
But when you got jammed like that, it was aluminum bat.
Aluminum
right?
bat.
Yeah, a little different.
See, I don't know. I never used a wood bat, so I don't know. But I'm telling you, I don't know how it could hurt worse.
Yeah, well, take it from me.
My pain threshold is only so much. Yikes! Look out, Nelson coming up and in on Simmons.
Yeah, think about when you get jammed like that, too. You always get a very late break out of the box. I mean, that's, again, one of the reasons why Herrera was able to get him so easily. Out on the end, you get a head start out of the box. Down, on the hand, you get jammed like that. Takes you a while to get going.
Hurts your hands and breaks your spirit. Simmons pops it foul. Back our way. what we're talking about. Let's see where he hits this off the bat.
Yeah,
Oh, my gosh.
Just right about the pine tar. That's about as bad as you can get jammed right there.
He's fortunate it was a breaking ball, right?
Yeah.
Instead of a big fastball. So now you got to mark that and remember it. And we'll evaluate Pierzynski's next at bat when it comes up, knowing that he had a couple of defensive swings and got sawed off so badly.
Yeah, swung at two pitches that were really out of the strike zone. Unusual for him.
2 outs, runner at second. Here's a 2-1. Simmons takes a ball high. You got to like what the Braves have done with a young group of players. They brought in some wise old veterans to police the clubhouse. Guys like Pierzynski and Johnny Gomes, Nick Markakis. You need that. Simmons draws the walk. The free swinging shortstop doesn't walk often, but he is aboard first and second now with 2 outs. And Pedro Ciriaco coming up.
Yeah, Jimmy had a couple of walks in his last start, both coming in 1 inning. He's walked 1 in each of the first 2 innings here tonight.
Just the 11th walk of the year for Andrelton Simmons. Ciriaco's been a bench player for the first 3 games of this series. He gets his first start here this afternoon, getting the call at third base. Two on, 2 out.
Actually, Jimmy walked 4 in that start against the Tigers, walked 2 against the White Sox, so walked more than he gave up hits. 3 hits, 4 walks for Nelson in that start.
Oh, another one inside. Ciriaco bailing out as fast as he could. That almost hit him. Right in on the hand. Look at this.
He's wondering how it didn't hit him.
Waiting for the pain, right? Braves signed Ciriaco as a minor league free agent right after the season ended last season. On the ground, tough hop. Herrera's got it, fires to second, and that will retire the side. 3 ground ball outs in the second inning for Jimmy Nelson. He strands a pair, and we're still scoreless. We are scoreless in Atlanta. Braves have the lone hit. Todd Cunningham with a double. Mike Fultonevich and Jimmy Nelson Off to good starts. Two similar pitchers in stature and style. Two big, hard-throwing right-handers. 25-year-old Nelson, the 23-year-old Fultonevich. Maldonado, Nelson, and then back to the top of the order, Luis Sardinas. Craig Counsell has his pitcher batting ninth today with Gomez in the 3 spot, not leading off. Typically when Gomez is leading off, the pitcher is batting eighth. At least that's the way it's been on this road trip.
They just don't have the kind of a hitter that Counsell is comfortable with hitting ninth. Going to have a kind of a fast base runner, a second leadoff hitter, if you will.
Maldonado shows bunt, bunts it foul. He's got 3 hits in this series. Maldonado had 2 hits yesterday and drove in a run. Had a 2-out RBI single into left field yesterday. Gave the Brewers a 2-0 lead at the time. That was in the 4th inning. A game the Brewers would lose 3-2 in 11.
Well, anything you get offensively out of Maldonado is going to be a plus. He will run into one occasionally. He's got a couple of home runs this year. Not in there for his bat.
Just missed. Count evens at 2-2.
But there is not a better throwing catcher in the big leagues. There are some as good, probably, but nobody better.
A late swing and a ground ball that stays fair. Freeman takes care of it for out number 1. Just a reminder that tonight Fox Sports Live will get you caught up on a full night of NHL and NBA playoff action, plus highlights of tonight's MLB games. You can see Fox Sports Live at 10 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 or see it simulcast right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
I understand he did a pretty good job in yesterday's game. See, I was watching it, but there was no sound where I was.
Sometimes the best way. Hey, Jimmy Nelson with a base hit. So the Brewer pitcher comes up with a knock.
First hit of the day for Milwaukee.
We saw Mike Fiers get his first hit of his season yesterday, and Nelson does the same.
Two-seam fastball, got a little bit too much of the plate, and Jimmy takes some pretty good hacks up there. They had him played in the hole a little bit, not sure why, but right into center field.
Second hit of the season for Jimmy Nelson. He's now 2 for 13. Remember, he went through his entire minor league career and then his first couple of years in the big leagues without a hit. Sardinas on the ground. Here's Simmons to second, out there, no chance at 2. But Simmons able to get the lead out at second base. Does it so smoothly. Former Gold Glove shortstop.
He's only committed 1 error this year at shortstop. That's pretty good.
And it's not like he's a conservative shortstop either. He is ultra aggressive trying to make plays.
And he's played every game for the Braves. A lot of times you can have range like that in a throwing arm like the one he has. You're going to have throwing errors. You're going to be making throws because you're getting to baseballs that a lot of guys aren't going to be able to get to. Gene Segura is kind of in that category, but he is very accurate with his arm, and he's only committed to 1 error.
Here's Parra. Gerardo flew out to center field in the first inning, hit it fairly deep into center. Brewers are trying to break this scoring slide. Freddie lost his glove there. The ball was still in it.
Telling Fulton-Kevitz, take a little off. Knocking my glove right off. Come on.
I mean, that's going hard. Parra in the left. Cunningham coming in. He's right there. Had him well positioned. And Parra with a little peek in the Braves dugout. Says touche. Inning over.
Out and onto the playing field here over the next few days. We check in with some of the injured Brewers. Craig Counsell saying that both Jonathan Lucroy and Jean Segura on the 15-day disabled list. Lucroy with the toe, Jean Segura with the broken finger. They will be reevaluated tomorrow by team doctor, Dr. William Rosh. Jean Segura will have an x-ray on that thumb, same for Jonathan Lucroy, but he's hopeful that they're down to just a matter of days with both Lucroy and Segura before they're back with the team. He said they've made big steps, so he's optimistic that they'll get them back shortly. Now with Jonathan Lucroy, he will likely go to a minor league rehab assignment. They'll figure out the days and how many he'll go, but Counsell saying it's just a matter of him getting at bats, getting comfortable, seeing velocity. There should be no issue with him catching, and he should be full go when he returns to the big league club. And for Jean Segura, they'll likely make a decision on his minor league rehab assignment either tomorrow or Tuesday, depending if he needs that. He's likely to be activated, or he's available to be activated on Thursday, the off day. And also Willie Peralta, who left Friday's start with left side tightness. He did play catch today. He's still dealing with some soreness. So tomorrow, when he is scheduled to do his bullpen session, they'll get some more clarity onto whether he'll be able to make his next start, scheduled for Wednesday against the Giants.
All right, Sophia, a lot of news to report from the Brewers injury front. And good news with Segura and Lucroy, not such good news with Peralta. I think there's a little bit of concern now. I talked to Craig Counsell yesterday. He was extremely confident that Peralta would not miss a start, but that tune changed today.
A little soreness, and you got to be careful of those side issues. I mean, those things can drag on all season. Willie has not missed a start in his big league career for the Brewers. I mean, he's been very consistent, being able to get out there every 5 days, and that would be a first for Willie Peralta. Certainly the Brewers don't want to have to deal with that with him.
Well, Nelson has fallen behind the Braves pitcher at the plate, 3-0. His fifth 3-ball count of the game already. He's been able to get through it for the most part. He does have 2 walks. One of those walks was cut down trying to steal a base. Foltynewicz with a base hit. Man, oh man, the pitchers are raking in this series.
That's the 6th hit by pitchers, both with the Braves and the Brewers. It's been amazing. Blazek, Fires, and Nelson with base hits. Trevor Cahill, Miller, and now Foltynewicz with a base hit. So 6 hits from the pitching staffs.
And maybe one of the bigger at-bats of the series was Willie Peralta's walk with the bases loaded. So while not a hit, a successful plate appearance. Who says the DH needs to be instituted in both leagues?
All right.
Top of the order now. Here is Jace Peterson.
Makes it a lot easier on the manager, though, the DH, doesn't it?
Yes.
I mean, take, for instance, yesterday's game with Craig Counsell and Mike Fiers, right? Fiers was cruising along. He was pitching well, ended up pinch hitting for him early in the game. Fiers went 5 innings, 2 runs. Had to take him out because the bases were loaded and his spot was coming up. Don't have to deal with that in the American League.
Pitchers can go deeper.
And you would think get more decisions, but I'm not sure if that statistically bears out. Not sure.
Well, I love the National League game, no question. The strategy of it, it's a lot funner game for me personally and for baseball fans.
I agree.
To get into the strategy, but I will say this: I am starting to come around on the DH in both leagues, because one thing that we're starting to see, the new trend in baseball, position players are not playing 162 games any longer, and star players are requiring more and more days off now that the game is cleaner and there aren't PEDs and there's stricter testing for amphetamines. I mean, it's one of baseball's dark periods, but it allowed players to be on the field a lot more. So if you're not going to drop the schedule down from 162 to 154, if you had a designated hitter in both leagues, you would be able to use your star players, your star hitters in that DH role as a quote-unquote day off occasionally. Up the middle, and that's through, a base hit. Jace Peterson with a single to center field. 2 on now to start the inning.
Yeah, well, I think that, I think you're right in the fact that, guys aren't able to stay out on the field as long. You get younger and younger players in the big leagues. You allow your stars to DH instead of get a day off. I think the fans would like that. There's more of a chance of the National League incorporating the DH as opposed to the American League doing away with it. That'll never happen. We'll see.
And we're into an era now. There are very few traditional designated hitters anymore. The guy, the big burly slugger who only is a DH. Those are very expensive jobs.
Big Poppy over in Boston, Billy Butler.
Shattered bat, 2-3. To the bag goes Herrera. Got a long throw, and it is in time for a double play. Good idea by Herrera with a speedy base runner going down the line. Herrera took a shot and gets 2 out of it.
Yeah, you saw, somebody's turned a double play. What was it, yesterday or the day before, and a ball just like that, first and second. Ball hit right at the bag. That wasn't the case, but you're not going to get Maben on a triple play. But that's the kind of a ground ball that you're going to get one. First and second, nobody out. You get a one hopper at the third baseman, but they would turn 2.
That goes to your point you made during the Pierzynski at bat. When a guy breaks his bat like that, it's a little bit of a stunner, right? And he takes a full swing and he doesn't get the kind of jump. Normally, Maben, he's almost impossible to double up with his speed. But it took him a while to get out of the box. That one ate him up. Nelson needed that. 2 quick outs with 1 swing of the bat after the Braves had put 2 on to start the inning. They got a base open at first here. Visit to the mound by Maldonado. You wonder how aggressive Nelson will be on Freddie Freeman. The Braves have been among the MLB leaders hitting with runners in scoring position. While they are 0 for 3 today, they came in batting .302 with runners in scoring position as a team. And Freeman has been outstanding in that category this season.
Just for the record, it was the Astros that turned that triple play against Detroit. Not that you care, but I just figured I'd mention it.
I was just writing it down, making sure in case we bring it up.
Gary Gaetti with the Twins many years ago did that twice in a game.
The triple play,
5-4-3 right there, yeah.
Do you think? Well, you knew you're not going to turn a triple play on Maben.
No.
Did Herrera have an out at second?
I don't know.
Peterson runs well.
Right. I mean, you have to have, it has to be a perfect storm. The right base runners involved, but.
I'll go ahead and put Freeman on. Not a bad idea. He wasn't going to get himself out. Nelson trying to see if he'd take the bait, but he did not. And so Counsell go ahead and issues the free pass. So first and second for Nick Markakis. Markakis grounded out to first. That was in the second inning. Led off the second. Nelson trying to work through this third inning. We are scoreless in Atlanta. Braves have threatened the last 2 innings. And another jam shot foul. Where Nelson is breaking out the bumblebees today for the Braves hitters. He's in there quite a bit.
It shows that he's got a lot of confidence in his fastball right now, pitching inside very effectively to both left-handers and right-handers.
2 on, 2 out. He's got Markakis in an 0-2 hole. And he punches him out. Slider from Nelson. He left it up there, but Markakis swings and misses. Nelson strands 2. Still scoreless at Turner Field. Curlers have zeros on the board. Our T-Mobile game changer is Carlos Gomez on this road trip through the first 9 games. Look at the numbers. 364 average, has a homer, he has driven in 6, and doing what a good leadoff hitter should do, and that's score runs. Scored runs in 7 of the 9 games, and he's batting 3rd today. First ball swinging, slow roller, tough play. Peterson to first in time for the out.
Yeah, good play. Young second baseman got a great jump on that ground ball. Well, once it got over the head of Fulton-Evich, there's a pretty good chance Carlos is going to be able to beat it. Peterson got that ball in and out of the glove very quickly.
Counsell stepped out of the dugout. They might want to take a look here. Let's see if we can make a determination.
Got rid of it very quickly and was able to get the out at this point. Yep, he's out.
Good call over there by Chris Siegel. And Counsell gets the same information and retreats to the dugout. Good work by our crew here in Atlanta. Adam Lynn takes a strike. First one he's seen today. Walked on 4 pitches in the 2nd inning. Pops him up. Siriaco in foul territory for out number 2. 3 pitches, 2 outs.
Yeah, Jimmy Nelson not the only pitcher today getting in on some hands.
Sunday's Bumblebee Day here at Turner Field. Coming out of the hitter's hands. Coaches used to always say, you know, you'd rather have that buzzing sensation getting jammed than pulling off the pitch and swinging and missing.
No, it is
I never
true.
quite bought that.
Well, it is true. It might hurt a little bit more, but there are more hits on the handle than there are on the end of the bat.
My flight or fight instincts were not jiving with that. Because I, you know, to swing and miss, yeah, that doesn't hurt a lick.
Oh, I know. But, you know, it's kind of that macho thing. Nobody wants to get jammed, right? I mean, you'd rather be on the end of the bat. Nobody's going to be able to throw the ball by me. That's that mentality that you get.
And then conversely, is there a better feeling than hitting one off the sweet spot?
No.
Man, oh man. You don't even feel it. 2-1 to Davis. Slider strike. A called strike. 2-2 the count. These 2 young pitchers have been impressive today. on the attack.
Got away with one there. Chris Davis had a hanging slider that he fouled back. This guy hasn't made too many mistakes today.
In the air to right. That is back there. Markakis at the track and makes the catch just in front of the wall. He plays deep anyway and was able to run that one down. 9-pitch fourth inning for Foltynewicz. See the Braves again in July at Miller Park. Jimmy Nelson and Mike Foltynewicz hooked up in a dandy thus far. No score. The Brewers have just one hit. That was by Jimmy Nelson. The Braves with 3 hits. Foltynewicz, the pitcher, has one of those 3 as well. So each of the pitchers has gotten into the act at the plate as well. Nelson's had some traffic on behind him in the last couple of innings. He still has not had a 3-up, 3-down frame. As Cunningham shows bunt and pulls it back in time to take a ball.
Yeah, Jimmy's been doing a pretty good job getting ahead in the count. 9 of 15 first pitch strikes. Foltynewicz 12 of 14. Pretty impressive.
Now, one of the 3 hits for Atlanta came from this guy, Todd Cunningham. On the first pitch, he slapped a double down the left field line in the second inning. Nelson stranded 2 in the second, left 2 on last inning.
What a difference maker that pitch has been for Jimmy Nelson. I mean, you can just see the confidence that he has in it. Throws it on 3-2 counts. He threw one to Pierzynski on a 3-1 count. I mean, it's just been really a confidence builder for him.
Right back to it. Line drive foul.
And because of that pitch, he's all of a sudden found the slider. He's been finishing his delivery with the curveball, and that slider was a mystery to the Brewers and Nelson why he couldn't throw it last year, and has really turned his whole routine around out there in the mound.
And a fastball. Cunningham late pops it up to Sardinas for the out.
And because of that, he's able to get into some hands. Another jam shot by the Braves.
Well, the delivery of the game courtesy of Jimmy John's, as Jimmy Nelson is working inside against Atlanta very effectively.
Yeah, Brzezinski jammed himself on a slider. He got the out that time, and he was able to get Maben. Busted him inside, broke his bat. That was a double play ball, and he just got Cunningham on a pitch in. That inside fastball for Nelson has been a very good delivery of the game.
Starts Brzezinski with a slider. He fouls away. Nelson is starting to look like an ace. He's starting to emerge into this guy that you could put at the top of the rotation. I mean, he still has a little work to do yet, but the pieces of the puzzle are all there. And when you see that kind of swing with that kind of velocity of movement, and he's mixing up all of his pitches, I think the curveball, more than anything else, it's a great pitch, but it's a change of pace pitch. It gives him something slow to get the hitter's timing off.
Something off speed as opposed to just going with fastball slider.
Oh, wow. He just carved up A.J. Brzezinski. 3 pitches, struck him out. Up, in, and down and in.
Curve, fastball, curve. They get me over curve the first pitch, then he blows him away with strike 2 and a fastball up, and then look at that pitch. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
3rd strikeout for Jimmy Nelson. 2 outs. Here's Simmons now.
To see his pace is much different than it was last year. I mean, he stands right on that pitching rubber. He doesn't move around. He's got confidence. He knows what he wants to throw. Maldonado knows as well. The pacing's been very good for him.
That's deep. Simmons watching it go. It is a foul ball. Boy, that had plenty on it, but Simmons just got out ahead of it. Long, loud strike, and it's 0-2 on Andrelton Simmons.
Yep, just hooked fouls. It got to that pole down there and left.
That thing was way back. Simmons, the toughest to strike out in the National League. Only strikes out about every 13 plate appearances. Ooh, the 0-2 just missed.
Yeah, went back to the slider. He hung the slider the pitch before. The pitch that Simmons nearly hit out. Went right back to it.
Simmons is a free swinger. He rarely gets into deep counts or 2-strike counts. Now it's 2-2. Simmons has been a much better hitter with the bases empty versus runners on base. He's hitting over 300 with the bases empty, which is the scenario here. He's under 200 with runners on base. Go figure. 2-2 on the way. Count goes full.
Maybe doesn't like pitchers out of the stretch.
There are the numbers.
You buy that one? Maybe tenses up with men on base. Who knows?
Yeah, I'll buy that one.
Not the stretch thing?
Not the stretch thing.
Circle the one you like.
3-2, and that one's in the air to left off the end of the bat. Davis will make the play to end the inning, and that's the first 3-up, 3-down inning of Jimmy Nelson's day today. Still scoreless in Atlanta. No score. We're headed to the 5th inning. Our Carsoup.com trivia today. Who was Freddie Gonzalez's pitching coach? 06 and 07 when he managed the then Florida Marlins. There's a Brewers connection to that question.
They should have an easy question on Sunday, right? Day of rest.
Elian Herrera on the first pitch. High fly ball to Maben in center. And 1 pitch and 1 out for Mike Foltynewicz. And we're starting to get into the middle innings here. These pitchers are budging. Nelson is getting stronger.
Still another first pitch strike for Foltynewicz.
Is that 13 of 15 now?
Yeah.
Hector Gomez. Brewers are without Ryan Braun and Aramis Ramirez in the lineup today. Scheduled days off. Maybe they could schedule days off not on the same day moving forward.
Man, a lot of offense on that bench, right?
I'm telling you. Gives the Brewers some potent weapons off the bench, however.
Well, you never know in this game. Sometimes you get the guys out there on the bench and they play. Brewers did that one time this year. Had a lot of bench players out there and one big. Craig Counsell's hoping for that today.
First road trip of Craig Counsell's managerial career coming to a close today. And the Brewers are trying to make it a 500 road trip. Right now they are 4-5. There's a swing and a miss. Foltynewicz strikes out Hector Gomez. 2 up and 2 down.
Pretty good two-seam fastball. Hey, the Brewers return home tomorrow to kick off their 6-game homestand with a Memorial Day showdown against the Giants. Their series will continue Tuesday night at 7 before wrapping up with another Kids and Seniors Discount Day on Wednesday afternoon. Visit Brewers.com for tickets.
Saw the Giants designated Casey McGee for assignment today. Very popular former Brewer. He was acquired to be the replacement for Pablo Sandoval. But it has been a rough start for Casey McGee.
Had a terrific season last year.
Giants are going to have Matt Duffy as their everyday third baseman now, as Maldonado pulls one foul. And I would be interested to know if the Brewers have any interest in Casey McGee. Such a popular figure. Had some good years in Milwaukee. Bounced around since. Went to Japan. He was with the Marlins last year. I know Counsell is a big fan of McGee and vice versa.
I guess they don't want to show their hand too much early. They have 10 days to the Giants to decide what to do with Casey. They'd only have to pay a minimum. The Giants are going to have to pay the bulk of his salary.
I can't imagine any team claiming Casey McGee at this point. He signed a $4 million deal with the Giants. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
yep.
Now if he passes through the waiver process and becomes just a minor league player, even if I don't even know if he'll accept the assignment to the minor leagues, but I'm sure he'd have a number of options, the Brewers being one of them perhaps. We'll see. Brewers are starting to get into the period of the schedule where tough decisions are going to need to be made. We had a great conversation with Mark Atanasio in Detroit about that fact. Maldonado swings and misses. 1, 2, 3 inning for Foltynewicz, and he is retired 8 straight. He's got 5 strikeouts.
Turner Field in the 5th, and if you are a biking enthusiast, you will love joining the Brewers Community Foundation for the inaugural benefit bike ride, which is scheduled for August 8th. The ride includes 4 routes, 22 and 44-mile routes starting and ending at Miller Park, and also 88 and 100-mile routes from Madison to Miller Park. You can pedal to benefit 4 nonprofit organizations, including the Urban Ecology Center, Dream Bikes, Penfield Children's Center, and the Miracle League of Milwaukee. So you can spend a fun day in the saddle, followed by a tailgate party and ticket to the August 8th Brewers and Cardinals game. Ian Ruff?
All right. Sounds good. Got to break the bike out. I'm ready for it. It's been, after a long winter, been holed up in the old garage.
You have a bike, do you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love riding bikes. Love to get out. Good exercise. You get to climb the hills a little bit. Speaking of the Miracle League, by the way, they had a great event yesterday. Had a clinic at Health Air Field. That is a fantastic organization. If you don't know about the Miracle League, do some research. And it's a field, a rubberized field for children with disabilities. They get to go out and play baseball and have a lot of fun. It's a great cause, so I'm glad they're a part of that. Here we go to the bottom of the 5th. Jimmy Nelson and Mike Foltynewicz in a scoreless game. First ball swinging. Siriaco and Herrera will take care of him. Nelson now has retired 5 in a row. Ran into some trouble in the 3rd with 2 on to start the inning, but got a huge double play off the bat of Cameron Maben. And then after he pitched around Freddie Freeman, was able to strike out Markakis. Not a whole lot of activity on the base paths today. The 2 pitchers have 2 of the 4 hits. Foltynewicz with a single to start that 3rd inning. Jimmy Nelson has the only Brewers hit, which was in the 3rd. Look at Maldonado back there, always trying to rattle the cage of the hitter. It's got all these little movements and motions and sticks his arm out, trying to get him thinking inside.
Tapping his glove on the dirt and calls a fastball. And normally, you know, you try and get your pitcher to throw in the dirt. It's a curveball, but sometimes that'll mess a hitter up. There's 2 good sliders to get Foltynewicz. All the tricks of the trade. Hey, today's Tavern of the Game winner, the 101 Pub in Wausau, in Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
2 quick outs for Jimmy Nelson. Here's Jace Peterson. Nelson is pouring in the strikes here in this 5th inning. 6 pitches thus far, 5 of them have been strikes. He's got 2 outs. Nelson loves this hot weather. He grew up in this hot weather and he enjoys it. Gets loose. A lot of big guys are okay in the colder weather. It was a chilly night in Detroit last Tuesday. And that's always tough on a hitter when you got a guy like Nelson throwing as hard as he was. But this is the preferable type temperature for Jimmy. In the air, right center. Routine for Parra. Jimmy Nelson locked and loaded here in Atlanta. See if the Brewers can give him some offense. Jimmy's retired 7 straight. Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Pitchers duel on a Sunday afternoon, Memorial Day weekend in Atlanta. Foltynewicz back to work. Zips one in for a strike on Jimmy Nelson. Jimmy Nelson has the only hit of the day for Milwaukee. A single in the third inning, a clean single up the middle. Starters are rolling now. Foltynewicz through 5. He has 5 strikeouts. He has struck out the last 2 batters. And he's retired 8 straight. Nelson's retired 7 in a row.
Well, we were told if Foltynewicz is able to get his breaking pitches over, he's going to have a good day, and it's been the case. I mean, he's throwing the slider and the curveball over. And he's got a pretty impressive fastball. He's got 2 of them, 4 seams and 2 seams.
That's a good curveball there. He buckled Nelson's knees, and down he goes. So 6 strikeouts for Foltynewicz, and 3 in a row here. He's hit 98 with a fastball. He's thrown the curveball as slow as 75. That is a significant gap between velocity.
It's been 3 pitches. I mean, both of these guys essentially throwing the same pitches: fastballs, curveballs, and sliders, and locating them all.
He's only thrown 60 pitches with 1 out here in the 6th inning. As Sardinez fouls it back, he's down on the count 0-2 quickly.
Brewers got to figure out a way to slow this guy down. I mean, he doesn't take a lot of time between pitches. Maybe, step out if you're allowed to do that these days. But well, he gets it and goes. No messing around.
Just foul.
That's right. You're not allowed to step out anymore, are you?
You can't after a swing. Swing or a foul ball, can step out.
Pitch up and in.
Don't be stepping out on Marvin Hudson either, the home plate umpire. He threw out Bryce Harper last week for not getting in the box. Little jam shot, pop up, long run coming in as Cunningham for the 2nd out of the inning.
Really hasn't been an issue this year other than that situation with the new rule. You got to stay in the batter's box. I thought it would be more of an issue. I really did.
I think the Major League Baseball issued a release last week stating that the players are commending the players for how they have responded to the speed up rules. I think players want the game to move along as well. It's getting to the point where there was too much dead time. I think just bringing it up and creating a little bit of legislation on it has made all the difference. Just the fact that it's out there and everybody's talking about it. Look out. Oh my gosh. Parra fouled one off and he took down Carlos Gomez. Carlos is all right, but he got up and started barking at his teammate, which drew some laughs here. I'm glad he's all right. I thought I thought it hurt him in the beginning.
Check swing, and Gomez able to get out of the way. Good job by Gomez paying attention.
I mean, that's right at you.
Not often you got to get out of the way with the on-deck circle right there.
I tell you, these guys are making it look easy. Gomez left in the on-deck circle, 3 up, 3 down. Now 7 strikeouts for Foltynewicz. Retired 11 in a row. Gives us a chance to look at our Down on the Farm report, courtesy of Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Taylor Youngman, former first rounder by the Brewers. He is now pitching in AAA in Colorado Springs, and look what he did last night against Salt Lake City. 7 innings, just 2 runs. He struck out 7 and very efficient in his 7 innings. And in the month, he's made 3 starts, an ERA under 5. It's tough to pitch in Colorado Springs and that side of the PCL. Youngman might be a guy we see this year at some point. He's on the verge. He was in spring training essentially as the Brewers' 6th or 7th starter. So we might see him.
It's going to be interesting to see if Willie's not able to make his start, what the Brewers do. I mean, do you pull Blazek out of the bullpen? I mean, how long is he going to be able to go anyway if they do? We'll see on the homestand whether Willie's going to be able to make that start or not.
Cameron Maybin leads off for Atlanta. If you're just picking us up, Willie Peralta had to leave his game on Friday night with a left side injury after pitching 4 innings. And the Brewers are very hopeful that he'd be fine, no problem, ready to go. But today tried to throw a side session. He felt more tightness today, so he's been pushed back. And now there is some question whether he'll be able to make his next start.
And they're not going to risk it either. If he has any discomfort, they're not going to let him pitch. Those things, if you don't take care of them right away, they could last for a long time.
2 balls and a strike. Cameron Maybin leading off. Freddie Freeman due next. And a called strike. Little spinner on the corner. 2-2. As of right now, Maybin's at bat in the 3rd inning is one of the more significant at bats of the day for Jimmy Nelson. Got a ground ball double play out of Maybin with 2 on and nobody out. The kind of days where 1 run could beat you. Pitchers walking a fine line at this point.
After the Brewers put up 11 runs on Friday, Jimmy's sitting in that dugout saying, hey, where are mine? Give me some of those. I don't need 11.
Here's a 2-2. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, we're all curious to see what the lineup looks like day in, day out, but I'm sure the starting pitcher is most curious.
What, no Braun? He's thinking he gets
no
to the
Ramirez,
Come
no
on.
Braun.
Help me out here.
Here comes a curveball. 2-2. He didn't bite.
But it shouldn't affect what he does out on the mound. That's not his responsibility, worrying about the offense. And that's what they'll tell you, but I think when they know they're not getting a lot of runs, I think it is a little bit different out there.
Got in on his hands again. Maybin fouls it away. Maybin's seen a lot of pitches today against Nelson. He walked in the 1st inning on 7 pitches. Bounced into that double play in the 3rd, and here he is in the 6th inning. It's another 3-ball count. Nelson's been in 8 3-ball counts. So his pitch count much higher than Fultonevich. The 9th pitch of the at-bat coming. Little flare going to fall. A base hit for Maybin. He got jammed a little bit, but able to muscle it into center field for a knock. Leadoff hit for Atlanta with Freddie Freeman coming up. It's a good battle by Cameron Maybin. Back to our Carsoup.com trivia. Who was Freddie Gonzalez's pitching coach 06 and 07 when he managed the Florida Marlins? That would be Brewers pitching coach Rick Kranitz. They go back a ways, good buddies. A lot of respect between those two. Interesting that Freddie Gonzalez is standing and watching from the far side of the dugout. That throw gets away. And now Maben will go to second. The throw goes into the seats. So it is an error that sets the Braves up with a runner in scoring position.
And most managers are going to be down there closer to home plate. And these are the kind of things you can't have happen when you have a close game. You put a very fast runner in scoring position. That is a short hop over to Adam Lind, who couldn't handle it. Ends up in the seats.
So here is Freeman, their best hitter, with a runner at second. Nobody out.
And with first base open. This time they put him on, and Markakis struck out to end the inning.
Oh, and 1 the count on Freeman. Up and in. Most managers stand on the inside of dugouts. Freddie Gonzalez is way over there. He's toward the end. He's got his eye on something. Guaranteed he is trying to spot some kind of advantage to try to pick something up. Freeman is the RBI leader for Atlanta, and yet the top 2 spots in the Braves batting order have really struggled this year getting on base. That has turned around a little bit lately. So he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities with men on.
You can see those numbers right there. I mean, almost 400 in these situations with a man in scoring position.
Wanted the call, didn't get it. Nelson and Maldonado felt like that was a strike.
Oh, yeah, pretty good pitch, huh? Marvin Hudson didn't like it. Oh, where's it miss? Looked like a strike. What a difference, 2-2 or as opposed to 3-1.
Right. And he just got a call earlier in the count on that same pitch, same location. 3-1. Down and in, walked him. Freeman aboard. 2 on to start the inning for the Braves. Second time Freeman has walked. And Nelson in trouble here in a scoreless game. Nick Markakis coming up.
Yeah, pitch count's starting to be a concern at this point. 93 pitches. I would imagine the Brewers have some activity starting to brew down in that bullpen.
Lee Tunnell, the bullpen coach. And looks like Neil Kotz will be the first one up. Nobody out. 2 men on. Markakis at the plate. And now Maldonado on his way out.
Yeah, Jimmy all of a sudden throwing a lot of curveballs and sliders. And Maldonado thinking to himself, I'm sure he's trying to convey to Jimmy that, you know, let's see that good 2-seam fastball get a ground ball. Maybe we can turn a double play.
Nelson's thrown 15 pitches already in this inning. 8 balls thus far. Last inning in a 3-up 3-down frame, he threw just 9 pitches, had 7 strikes. That included a strikeout last inning. Needs a ground ball to turn it here. The Brewers set up for a double play. And Markakis takes ball 2. Had a long second inning, stranding 2 runners. Left 2 more in the third. Had an excellent 9-pitch 5th inning, but he's in trouble here. 16 pitches already. (3-0). Jimmy has lost it. So now Jeffress joins Kotz. You got a switch hitter due up next, and then a left-hander in A.J. Pierzynski after that. Could be Nelson's last hitter. Nelson coming off his season high for pitches in his last start in Detroit to 108.
And that was 8 innings of work. We're here in the 6th, still nobody out.
Lost it, ball 4, bases loaded.
And that might be it. Great Counsell hasn't made a move at this point.
Rick Kranitz is on his way instead.
Only 100 pitches and really hasn't been able to find the strike zone last couple of hitters.
Now the Brewers are carrying 8 relievers right now. They're playing a man short on their bench, which hurt them yesterday in that 11-inning game.
Well, Will Smith threw an inning and 2/3. You wonder if he's available. I would imagine maybe a hitter or two, but Blazek threw 3 innings on Friday. Not sure if he's available today. But they're going to stay with Nelson.
The Brewers are going to try to turn 2 up the middle. They'll concede a run to get a double play. Corner infielders are in as Cunningham swinging away at the first pitch. He has one of the 4 Braves hits today, a double in the second. Had the first Atlanta hit. He's in a platoon with Johnny Gomes in left field.
Kind of risky to bring Adam Linden there with a left-hander up. Big hole between first and second.
This is a spot where Nelson could use a strikeout. One ball, 1 strike. Nelson with back-to-back walks after giving up a hit to Maben. There's a swing and a miss. Good pitch. That's the one he was looking for, that down and in slider. It's 1-2 now.
Yeah, good breaking pitch, and that's been a good pitch for him, and Cunningham right over the top of it. Throw another one down in the dirt this time.
Cunningham is a contact hitter, singles hitter. 1-2 on the way, out to short, and it's caught there. So a line drive out. Freddie Freeman almost got hit by that ball at second base. And that works out pretty well. That was impressive concentration by Sardinas. I can't imagine he saw that ball at the end with Freeman standing right in his way.
Yeah, pretty good base running by Freeman, too, taking 1 step and able to come back. That ball's hit just a little bit harder. They might be able to turn a double play. Now they're in a position to be able to turn 2 on a ground ball with Pierzynski up.
Well, if only Sardinas could have thought to maybe drop it. But with nobody out, take the shore out. Here's Pierzynski. Cutting the miss. He's up there hacking. Craig Counsell was talking to us about these managerial decisions that you have to make, and there's a lot of it that has to do with the numbers, the analytics, the matchups, but then at the end of the moment of truth, there is a lot of hunch involved. And he's playing a hunch here on Jimmy Nelson that he can get out of this inning.
Well, because he's really made Pierzynski look bad a couple of times today. Well, this is a confidence builder for Jimmy Nelson if he's able to get out of this mess.
By him again, Pierzynski.
Well, he's upset with himself.
Slams his bat.
Usually you see that one on the 3rd strike, not the 2nd strike. What's the old saying? Don't ever let him see you sweat. That's a hanger.
Yeah,
and Pierzynski pulls his head.
Remember, Pierzynski got jammed badly in the 2nd. Nelson struck him out his last time up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a little liner. It is off the glove of Gomez. Step on the bag there. Throw to first, not in time. Sardinius had Freddie Freeman right in front of him.
Yeah, he could have stepped on the bag and then gone to third.
Oh, my goodness. A run scores. Huge mistake by the young shortstop. There was a way out of the inning.
And the only guy that was running the whole way was A.J. Pierzynski. He was able to get it out at second base. Now check it out. I mean, watch Freddie Freeman here. He freezes. Now you flip it over to Sardinius to get the out, and then you just throw to third base, and that pretty much ends the inning with no run scoring. If in fact you're able to tag him before Cameron Maybin crosses home plate. Oh well, they got an out.
And now 2 outs. And here is Andrelton Simmons.
But if nothing else, if you go to third base, the inning's over.
Yeah, you're going to get an out.
And one run scored, maybe none. Who knows?
Braves on the board. Simmons lines it to left, and now it's 2-0. RBI single for Andrelton Simmons. And Simmons' base hit is going to be the end of the line for Jimmy Nelson.
Yeah, fastball out over the plate. Simmons has had some good swings today.
Brett Counsell will make the change. He's stuck with Nelson. 2 runs are in for Atlanta. And to the bullpen goes Counsell. We'll set up the new pitcher when we come back. Two runs are in. A mental miscue defensively by Luis Sardinius. And this inning continues as Jeremy Jeffress is the new pitcher. The Marshfield Clinic leaders in relief. Jeffress has been the go-to man in that bullpen. His 24th appearance of the season coming up. And he's trying to get out of this 6th inning and keep the score at 2-0 Atlanta.
Well, you knew what Sardinius was thinking. He was thinking maybe get out of the inning with no run scoring. But once he got the baseball and saw what was going on at first, Pierzynski, no way they're going to be able to get him. Hey, go to third, you end the inning. 1 run would have scored. And as it stands, if they do make that play, it would be 1-0 and not 2-0.
All right, so Jeffress will face Siriaco here with 2 on and 2 out. Jeffress has looked fantastic here recently. He is throwing hard, got that power sinker going. It's been very impressive.
Hasn't given up a run in his last 7 outings. He pitched yesterday, an inning and a third. Gave up a hit, struck out a batter.
Now, how about those numbers this month? Making a bit of the Brewers pitcher of the month in May. Sixth inning, 2-0 our score. The Braves have just scored. First 3 batters reached. A hit and 2 walks issued by Nelson. He's on the hook for the loss. And meanwhile, the Brewers have just 1 hit. That was by Jimmy Nelson. No position player has come up with any success at all against Mike Foltynewicz today. Foltynewicz has retired 11 straight. His pitch count is in great shape. He'll be back out for the 7th. One ball, 2 strikes on Siriaco. There's a call. Strike 3. Got him with a fastball. Jeffress ends the inning. Punches out Siriaco. The Braves score twice. They now lead it. Seventh in Atlanta. And in honor of Memorial Day weekend, Fox Sports proudly supports Folds of Honor and its mission of providing educational scholarships to families of military members who have been killed or disabled while serving our country. For more information, visit foxsportssupports.com. Great foundation, the Folds of Honor. And we're proud to be connected with it. Memorial Day tomorrow. The Brewers will be back home. Afternoon affair at Miller Park. Hope you'll make plans to join us. The Giants, the world champion Giants in town.
Giants playing some pretty good baseball too.
Yeah, they came off a sweep. They're in Colorado today, but they had a sweep of the Dodgers in the series prior to their current series. They swept the series. They shut them out all 3 games.
Yeah. And Giants coming into play today, only 2 games back of the LA Dodgers.
Here's Carlos Gomez, and a big sweeping curveball is in there for a strike. Foltynewicz has been on top of his game here today. His longest outing as a major league pitcher is 6 2/3. That was back 2 starts ago against the Reds on May 12th. Ouch! Gomez is hit. Another one in there. He has had a rough road trip physically.
Got hit there in Detroit. Already heavily taped up.
In fact, that one got him on the right wrist.
Yeah, got him on the top hand that time. Yikes.
Now the Brewers are already without Ryan Braun and Aramis Ramirez today. Just scheduled days off, no injuries there. Gomez looks like he's going to have a tough time continuing in this one. Athletic trainer Dave Yeager out tending to him.
Got hit in the left wrist in Detroit. Shane Green hit him.
Now we take you back a week ago today. Noah Syndergaard hitting Gomez in the helmet. That was a very scary moment. He ended up playing the next day. He's had a great road trip, Gomez. But then he shows up in Detroit, then gets hit on the right wrist. Able to stay in the game, and this one I think got him on the right hand. See if we can get a better look at it. Ah, man.
Yeah, opening up. It looks like he got him on kind of the palm of the hand. You know, right there on the meaty part of the hand, and I hope he's going to be okay. See if he can continue. Takes a lot to get Gomez out of a game.
He's going to stay, looks like.
Well, if nothing else, he can run. I mean, he likes to be able to use his speed out there on the bases. Whether he's be able to throw the baseball or not remains to be seen.
So Gomez hit by a pitch to start the inning. This is the one in Detroit, and just to compare the two, it was more down on the forearm. This one I think caught him in like the padding of the thumb area, the hand.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to stay. So we'll keep an eye on him, and we'll see if the Brewers can cash this one in. They have not had a base runner in a while. That snaps 11 in a row retired by Fultonevich. Last time a man reached was Sardinius on a fielder's choice in the third. Adam Lenz on the list, the Powerball home run leaderboard. He has 7. Braun leads the club. Long ball here would tie it up.
Well, if you're Adam Lynn right here, you're looking for a fastball, something you can handle, and try and drive in the gap somewhere. Got the count in his favor. That didn't happen much for this Brewers offense.
Right off the end of the bat, that'll squib foul.
Took a little off. 91. Pretty smart pitch. I think A.J. Pierzynski has a lot to do with that pitch on a 2-0 count. He knew that Lynn was going to be aggressive.
Now, Freddie Gonzalez likes Pierzynski with his young pitchers. He's been catching Shelby Miller every time around. Gets a call with Fultonevich on the mound today. The 38-year-old catcher and the 23-year-old pitcher. 2 balls and a strike. Lind just missed it. High pop up in the right. And Markakis will put it away for the out.
He'd like to have that one back. That was a mistake that he missed.
The first out of the 7th. Here comes Chris Davis now. Fultonevich has given up home runs in each of his last 3 starts. He's made 4 starts in the big leagues prior to this game today. It's by far his best effort in the big leagues. Had a little time last year with the Astros. Started the year in AAA, made 4 starts down there in Gwinnett, which is not too far from here. He is an out away from matching his longest outing as a major league pitcher. In the minor leagues in AAA earlier this season in April, he went 8 innings in a game.
working here in the 7th inning, and last time out only went 5, and he threw 91 pitches, so much more efficient today, able to throw those breaking pitches for strikes. Brewers really haven't been able to figure him out all day. I mean, he's not been very predictable. He's been throwing all of his pitches, mixing it up, taking a little off his fastball once in a while. It's been an impressive performance.
He is officially listed as the #2 ranked prospect in the Braves organization. The key piece in the trade was Evan Gattis going to Houston. One and 2 the count. Tying run at the plate, and Davis takes a ball. 97 with a fastball. He is keeping that fastball velocity up there even in the late innings. He's hit 98 a couple of times today.
Looked like a pretty good pitch, didn't it?
Davis got a break. 2 and 2. And Davis in the air, center field. Maben coming across, and Maben can't get there. Misplays it. Gomez going to third base. Davis will retreat to first.
That bad route by Maben. I'm surprised that one landed on the grass. It seemed as though it had a bit of a hook on it as it got out into center field, and Maben misplayed it. And check it out. He's shading toward right. He goes across instead of coming in, and just does miss it. So the Brewers pick up a break. Chris Davis holds at first base.
It's going to bring a visit from Roger McDowell, the pitching coach. Well, think about that sequence there. A close pitch that went Davis's way could have easily been called a strike. And then a misplay in center field by Maben, who looks to be a little shaken up out there.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good play by Maben. That's a ball that's got to be caught. That was a bad route, and the Brewers take advantage of it.
So first and third with one out. It's the first hit by a position player today for Milwaukee. Nelson had the other one. First hit since Nelson's single in the third. And the Brewers have a chance here. One out. Runners at the corners for Elian Herrera.
Far and away the best opportunity for the Brewers to score is right now. You know, throughout the game, still have Braun, still have Ramirez on the bench as we get down toward the bottom of the batting order.
Braves have activity in their bullpen. Nick Massett getting loose. Herrera a little over anxious. He chased one upstairs, and the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Aramis Ramirez has that helmet on. It's a hit for in the pitcher's spot if it gets there. Herrera is the 6th place hitter. One out, first and third. Brewers down 2-0 in the 7th. No secrets right here with Foltynewicz in this at bat. He is just reaching back and throwing as hard as he can.
And he still has good velocity, right? Last pitch at 96.
There's a breaking ball, and Herrera able to fight it off. To left, pretty well hit. Going back on it is Cunningham. This will be plenty deep to get Gomez in. Carlos will come in to score on a sac fly from Herrera, and the Brewers finally get one on the board. It's 2-1 Atlanta.
Man, good job by Herrera. Able to fight off a couple of pitches. He was able to foul off one of those breaking balls, but got a fastball to handle and drove in a run. Good job.
RBI for Herrera, number 12 on the year. Gomez scores after being hit by a pitch to start the inning. And with 2 outs and a runner at first, here is Hector Gomez. Tying run at first. Gomez takes a strike. Hector down 0-2. The 0-2 pitch is down and away. Good take by Gomez.
Yeah, slings that one in there at 97.
Pitch count at 87 for Fultonevich. Most trouble he's been in all day in this inning. Brewers have one in. That ball's hit hard to center. Coming in, Maben. He's got it on a line. Gomez lines out to end the inning. But the Brewers get one. It is 2-1 Atlanta. 7th inning stretch time here at Turner Field. Then we turn it over to our friends with the Braves and their presentation of God Bless America.
God Bless America, performed by Atlanta opera tenor Timothy Miller.
While the storm clouds gather from far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home.
Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. 2-1, the Braves have the lead over the Brew Crew. We head to the home 7th now. And a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Jeremy Jeffress will continue here. He got out of the 6th inning with a strikeout, keeping the Braves at 2. Foltynewicz is going to bat to start this 7th, and gives you an idea. He's going to come back out for an 8th inning of work. He has been on top of his game today, his best start as a big leaguer to date. He's given up just 1 run on 2 Brewers hits, and one of those hits coming from the pitcher Nelson.
And coming in, Foltynewicz had a batting average against left-handed hitters at almost 400, and he's been able to control the lefties in the Brewers lineup pretty well. I mean, no hits.
Now the Brewers trying to stack as many left-handed bats as possible. 4 of them today as Foltynewicz strikes out. Jeffress makes quick work of the Braves pitcher.
Hey, this Friday is a student night at Miller Park, which means high school and college students can purchase $10 Terrace Reserve and $15 Lowe's bleacher tickets for the Brewers showdown against the Diamondbacks, followed by the Joe Nichols post-game concert. Visit brewers.com/students.
Top of the Braves order with 1 away, Jace Peterson. Peterson, a 2-sport star in college. He played football and baseball at McNeese in Louisiana. He's a Louisiana native, Lake Charles.
Yeah, they describe him around here as a baseball player with a football player's mentality. He was a cornerback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he was a good one. He was emerging as one of the higher rated prospects in the Padres system, and the Brewers, or rather the Braves, making a deal, the Justin Upton trade to get Peterson to Atlanta. One of 2 trades that Atlanta made with San Diego, blockbuster deals. Peterson draws a walk on 4 consecutive pitches. Second time he's been on today, a man on with 1 out for Cameron Maybin. Saw a little news coming out of the Boston Red Sox camp, Rock. Shane Victorino was placed on the 15-day disabled list, and they called up Jeff Bianchi to take his spot.
there you go.
Former Brewer.
Yeah,
Always a fan of Bianchi. Could play all over. He was in AAA Pawtucket, and getting a chance to get back to the big leagues with Victorino on the disabled list.
outfielder on the DL, bring up an infielder.
Victorino has a left calf strain. Speaking of Pawtucket, Brewers radio announcer Jeff Levering capping off his first run as a major league broadcaster. Bob Uecker will be back on the air tomorrow when the Brewers return home. There's Jeff Levering, who comes to Milwaukee from Pawtucket. Doing a great job. Good addition to the crew. Enjoy having Jeff around. First time he's been on the air this year.
Knows the game. Got here today about what, 7 a.m.?
About 7 a.m., right? Got on the early bus, the 6 a.m. bus. He was all by himself.
I remember those days.
I told him, I said, look, if you're not on the bus with the rest of us, you tend to get made fun of. So you ride on the early bus at your own peril. He's doing a great job, and we congratulate him for making the step to the major leagues. Maben had a hit his last time up. That was a key at bat for Jimmy Nelson. It was a 9-pitch battle. Maben ended up with a single to center field, and then he scored the first run. Braves got 2 last inning. This was a scoreless game until the 6th. Brewers were able to answer with 1 in the 7th. That's where we are, 2-1. Yesterday's game was 2-2 until the Braves won it in the bottom of the 11th. First 2 games in this series were blowouts.
Yeah.
Thursday night went to Atlanta 10-1. They scored 9 of those 10 runs in the last 2 innings. And then the Brewers won 11-0 on Friday. Freddie Freeman due next. Jeffers trying to keep the Braves at 2 the way runs are coming today, as Will Smith gets ready to come in. Runner goes. Swinging a foul by Maben.
Yeah, Brewers have done a pretty good job avoiding Freddie Freeman. We just saw him on the on-deck circle. Got a couple of hits in the first game, but they've been working around him a little bit. He's walked a lot in this series. He's one of those guys that when you come into town, you circle him and say, don't let this guy beat you late in the game.
(3-2) and Jeffress steps off. Maben does strike out quite a bit. He's changed his approach a little bit here in Atlanta. They've shortened up his swing, making better contact. They've moved him into the 2 spot in the order, and he's really flourished there. There goes Peterson, a swing and a bouncing ball. Gomez standing right on the bag and makes the double play. Beautifully done. Hector Gomez, a 4-3 double play to end the inning. This is a run off the bat of Pierzynski. The Brewers trying to turn a double play here. Maben scores the run, and then Simmons with 2 outs delivers the second run in the 6th inning. And then the Brewers the next inning had a chance to put some on the board. They did get 1, but Foltynewicz holds strong even though he gave up a run on a sac fly to Herrera. He has gone 7 innings, 7 strikeouts.
Well, he's got the bottom of the Brewers order to deal with, but Craig Counsell is going to be running up a couple of pinch hitters. Foltynewicz has had an impressive curveball and slider today, and they said that these folks around this club said if he throws sliders and curveballs for strikes, he's going to have a good day. And he has.
Here's Jason Rogers. Pinch hitting. Got Braun due next. He'll hit for the pitcher. Eighth inning in Atlanta. The Brewers needing a comeback to earn a split in this series and earn a split on the road trip. Right now they are 4-5 on the trip. Rogers bounces to Simmons. And a good throw for out number one.
Hey, use your pinch hitters here, because once you get to the top of the order, you're not going to pinch hit for anybody. So the last thing that Counsell wants to do is risk losing the game by 1 run and not using his best hitters, as Ryan Braun continues to swing a hot bat on his road trip. Powerball home run count number 11 for Brawny here in Atlanta. That was on Friday.
Braun had another RBI last night. Has 34 ribbies now. He's hit 5 home runs on this road trip. 4 hits in this series and 6 runs batted in. Foltynewicz, just 92 pitches. There is action in the Braves bullpen. As Braun lines one right to Siriaco. 2 outs. They had Siriaco guarding the line. Braun hit it right at him.
Yeah, Brawny likes that ball out away from him. That was a slider and it's right down the middle. You can see Siriaco guarding the line, protecting against no doubles.
2 up, 2 down for Foltynewicz. Back to the top of the order, Luis Sardinas, who's 0 for 3 today. This figures to be the last inning for Foltynewicz. Could be his last hitter if Sardinas reaches. Be curious to see what Fredi Gonzalez does. You got a left-handed hitter coming up next in Parra, and he's got his excellent left-handed reliever Luis Avilan in the bullpen, ready to go. He got a key double play yesterday.
And if that's the case, you might see Craig Counsell go to Ramirez.
Sardinas drives one to right, a base hit. So let's see if he forces the hand of Fredi Gonzalez. A 2-out single for Luis Sardinas. He continues to hit.
Yeah, bring in the left-hander, and you might see Ramirez hit for Parra. We'll see. Braun's in the game. You just throw Braun out and right.
All right, so Gonzalez will take the ball from Foltynewicz, and he will get a big hand on his way out. His best performance in the big leagues. chance to win for the third time in his 5 major league starts. He exits with a 2-1 lead. Craig Counsell has Aramis Ramirez on the bench. It looks like he's going to stick with Parra here, however, as Luis Avilan comes in at the plate, presented by Wendy's. See what the Brewers have done today. Not much. Got a hit by Sardinhas just a moment ago to force the pitching change. Davis had a single that was misplayed by Maben, and the only other hit was a Jimmy Nelson single.
Yeah, one of the reasons I think that Counsell is going to stick with Parra is because Avilan tougher against right-handers and left-handers, oddly enough. In his 23rd appearance, he's not allowed to run over 11 May appearances. That covers 8 innings.
So here is Parra representing the go-ahead run. The tying run is on in the Speedy Sardinhas. Skips it in. Pierzynski able to keep it in front.
He kind of just threw the glove up there, not exactly the way you want to handle it. There's the splits we're talking about. Gerardo's been doing a pretty good job, huh? Left-handers.
Tell you, the numbers don't bear it out, but I don't know. Does it feel like this is a better matchup, a lefty-lefty matchup? I know the numbers show it that way, but it is early in the season. Parra's been playing a lot. I'd be curious to hear from Counsell after the game if it was numbers or hunch, or if he wants to keep Ramirez back. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gerardo Parra.
Well, the one thing you have with Ramirez at the plate, you got the element of power. You know, Gerardo not a big home run hitter, and especially not against left-handed pitching.
Gerardo's just trying to get Carlos Gomez to the plate. Here's a 1-1. Strike 2, and Parra didn't like that. He was barking quickly at Marvin Hudson.
No, that high strike hasn't been a strike all day, and Pierzynski pulls it down, and Hudson rings it up.
Box tracks headed high as well. Probably not as much as Parra thinks, though. 1-2 the count. Called strike 3. And Parra is getting a few parting shots on his way out. So the Braves hold serve. The pitching change works. Still 2-1 Atlanta. Brewers Live today, and maybe a comeback for the Brewers. Got some changes here. Maldonado was pinch hit for, so Juan Centeno will come in to catch. This bottom of the 8th, Ryan Braun stays in, and he'll play right. Parra is out. The new pitcher is Will Smith, who pitched an inning and 2/3 yesterday with 3 punch-outs. And Smith back at it, appearance number 21 of the season.
Yeah, they're going to get as much out of Smith as they can until that appeal is heard and that impending suspension. They might see him for an inning here today. Got 3 left-handers and a switch hitter to deal with.
Freeman, Markakis, and Cunningham first 3 up. Cunningham is the switch hitter in that group. And a strike from Smith. Well, the Brewers just can't get anything going offensively today. Scoring just 1 run. Foltynewicz goes 7 1/3 with 2 hits and that 1 earned run. He struck out 7, his longest outing as a major leaguer. Jimmy Nelson went 5 2/3, only 2 earned runs. He's on the hook for the loss right now. 5 walks, 4 strikeouts for Jimmy Nelson. Swing and a miss. Smith wipes out Freddie Freeman.
Well, Smith struck out 3 in yesterday's ball game in an inning and 2/3, and able to get Freeman to chase and pitch off the outside corner. That curveball that time.
Here's Nick Markakis. 0 for 2. I beg your pardon. 0 for 2 with a walk his last time up. And a strike. Another spinner in there by Smith. He's been able to dial in that curveball.
You know, one of the reasons that Craig Counsell might not want to use Aramis Ramirez, because had he used Ramirez, he would have no players on the bench. Not sure, but just trying to think ahead, which you know, brings to light the fact the Brewers are playing 1 short on their bench.
Yeah, that's the problem. The Brewers are with 8 relievers. It's tough to work in a National League setting when you only have 4 bench players. 0-2 pitch, and Markakis lays off.
Of course, the Braves are doing the same thing. They've only got 4 on their bench.
Markakis muscles one into center field. A 2-strike hit.
Hey, the Brewers post-game concert series debuts this Friday as Joe Nichols takes the stage following the Brewers Diamondbacks game to perform a full-length show featuring all of his greatest hits. For tickets, visit brewers.com/concerts.
Markakis reaches. Second time he's been on his last 2 plate appearances. And now Todd Cunningham, who is 1 for 3, has a double today. Switch hitter turns around, hits right-handed against Smith. First time he's hit right-handed today. Strike 2. Smith ahead of him. No balls, 2 strikes. Good command so far in this inning. 8 of 10 have been for strikes in this frame. Looking ahead to the Brewers' 9th. Carlos Gomez to lead off, Lind, and then Chris Davis. Got some power coming up. Right now the Brewers are down a run. Smith trying to keep it that way. Oh, 2 pitch. Missed. Wow. I don't know if the Fox Tracks reading is wrong or Centeno just maybe got fooled on that pitch.
Yeah, probably set up inside, had to dive across the plate. It looked like a strike.
I was a little surprised when
he didn't make it look very good, did he?
That's the opposite of framing a pitch.
Well, when you're setting up right there and you put one on the outside corner, I mean, it's not real easy to make it look good.
Juan Centeno. Brewers are desperate to get Jonathan Lucroy back. Centeno hasn't gotten much playing time. He's a good defensive catcher, but there aren't many like Jonathan Lucroy in the big leagues.
Yeah, set to come back probably in Minnesota next road trip.
Here's a 1-2. He's hanging tough, Cunningham. Looks like Segura will be back this week, maybe Friday. He's eligible to return Thursday, but that's an off day, so you go by days on the DL, not games. So we'll probably see him Friday against Arizona with the broken pinky finger. Lucroy has a broken toe. They'll both be x-rayed tomorrow to see if the bones have healed. Lucroy feels like he's good to go. He said, I don't know what the x-ray is going to show, but I'm doing everything I want to do right now. He's been taking batting practice, throwing, running. Little half swing. That's a strikeout. No, I beg your pardon. He checked his swing.
It looked like he went.
And a runner is going to advance on a wild pitch. I agree with you. I thought it was a swing.
Side swing, he's going to show it. And he goes.
My goodness.
What's he looking at down at first base? I mean, you can tell from here he went.
That's just, you're just not watching.
No,
that's all there is to it.
No excuse for that. A major league umpire has got to be better than that.
So that cost the Brewers an out.
I mean, he went completely through the strike zone. That's a strike.
So a runner at second with one out now. 2-2 on the way. And that is it's a foul ball. So it is I beg your pardon, it is a swing and a hit by pitch.
Right.
A strikeout, send the runner back to second base.
Poetic justice.
As Rasheed Wallace would say, ball don't lie, Ron. Ball don't lie. Different
Is that
sport.
what he says?
That's what he says.
Okay. There's a big breaking ball by Smith. Cunningham this time swings through it and hits it right on the foot.
Telling you what, that is the worst way to strike out. Not only do you strike out, but
he's trying to
hit.
Sell the fact that the ball didn't hit him is what he was trying to do.
2 outs for Pierzynski. Chopper to second base, and that is going to be a good inning for Will Smith. He's looked sharp his last 2 times out. 2-1 Braves. Milwaukee down a run. We go to the 9th. Chevrolet. Beautiful Sunday in Atlanta. The Brewers are going to need a rally in the ninth, looking for a comeback, a snatch 'em back on the road. They trail 2-1. The shining moment, courtesy of Marshfield Clinic, has been the Brewers bullpen today. Nelson even pitched well as the starter, but Jeffers came in, racked up a couple of strikeouts, and then Will Smith back-to-back games where he was impressive.
Inning and a third, 2 1/3 scoreless for that Brewers bullpen. And hopefully the Brewers get one more shot at working a inning here in the ninth. Craig Counsell could use a run or two.
The closer for the Braves, Jason Grilli, is on to work. He has 12 saves, has a high ERA, but a bad outing has damaged that earned run average somewhat. His 12 saves are up there.
It only takes one when you're not throwing a lot of innings, and he's only blown the one save, though. Brewers have had some success against Grilli in the past when he was a member of the Pirates.
Carlos Gomez leads off after being hit in the hand, his right hand, the last time up. Grilli's 12 saves is one off the National League lead. There are 3 National League pitchers with 13 saves currently. Trevor Rosenthal, Juris Familia, and Drew Storen. The man he replaced as the closer here in Atlanta, Craig Kimbrell, has 11 saves for the Padres, but his earned run average is over 5. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Gomez pops it foul and out of play. Wow, A.J. Pierzynski ran into the I think he forgot how short the distance was and ran right into the advertisement box down there. That got him good.
Yep. Hanging breaking ball. Carlos looks uncomfortable swinging the bat, but you can see Pierzynski, he's dialed into that baseball and forgets where he was.
In his first year as a Brave, he won't make that mistake again. Two and two to Gomez. Called strike 3. I think Gomez is hurting now.
Yeah, you can tell the first strike he tried to bunt, and he didn't miss too many hanging breaking balls like the one Grilli gave him on that one swing, that foul ball. I mean, that was just spinning up there saying hit me, and he just looked like he really didn't have much behind the swing. How many times can you get hit before it affects you, right?
Right. And twice hit on that right hand, hitting the helmet in this series as well, or in this on this road trip. Did not look like himself in that at bat. Give him credit for trying to stick in there, but well, Jason Grilli with 12 saves. See some pitchers racking up a bunch of saves with high ERAs. Fernando Rodney in Seattle, and then Kimbrell. Again, sometimes you give up a lot of runs in a game. It's an ERA buster for a while for a reliever. Cut and miss by Adam Lind. Ball and a strike. The Brewers are in danger of losing 3 out of 4 here in Atlanta. Braves are trying to go through a stretch where they have won 7 of 9 if they win today. And they would go back over 500 with a victory today. And all of a sudden the narrative is changing a little bit here in Atlanta after the first quarter of the season. Instead of rebuilding, they're talking about maybe having some flexibility to go make a few moves and contend in this National League East. That's what Freddie Gonzalez wants to hear.
And they've got some players coming off the DL.
1-2 to Lind. Got him. 2 outs. Well, the Brewers are coming back home. Much needed. A series with the Giants in our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Lincecum tomorrow against Kyle Loesch. You got Madison Bumgarner, who just beat Clayton Kershaw and hit a home run off of him. He's matching up against Garza. Then maybe Peralta against Vogelsong. Peralta is a question mark right now. Miller Lite What's on Tap. Don't forget day baseball tomorrow on Memorial Day. Brewers down to their last out. Home run hitter at the plate in Davis. Trying to get one in his wheelhouse to tie this game up.
Yeah, Grilli with a lot of sliders, and Davis is looking to see if he's going to hang one like he did to Gomez.
He was swinging at it.
And he's got the big fastball too, 95 miles an hour to go along with that slider.
One ball, one strike on Davis. Brewers down to their last hope here. Slider by Grilli. Davis's playing time has been sporadic as Gerardo Parra has started to swing the bat well this month. Hoping to lock in on something here. He's got the count in his favor. 2-1. But another slider misses. That one just looked like it hurt.
Yeah,
Grilli is snapping that with everything he's got.
You might see another one here. Don't think he wants to challenge him with a fastball, not Davis.
Herrera on deck. Remember, Counsell still has Aramis Ramirez available. 3 balls and a strike. Davis takes ball 4. A little glimmer of hope here for Milwaukee. Grilli issues a walk.
And the Brewers don't have any pinch runners. Davis with average speed at best. And Grilli didn't want to challenge him. He wanted to see if he was going to chase off the outside corner.
So Herrera will bat. Elion drove in a run with a sac fly in the 7th. Brewers down a run, tying run at first base, and a swing and a miss. That sharp slider from Grilli.
Going straight down, good pitch.
Outfield very deep for the Braves, and Herrera shows bunt. Strike 2. And the Brewers are down to their last strike. Two coming. Got him. Ball game. Grilli saves number 13, makes a winner out of Mike Foltynewicz, who is now 3-1. And Craig Counsell and the Brewers drop another one. They lose 3 out of 4 here in Atlanta, and a 4-6 road trip. Brewers fall back to 13 games under 500. Time now for Brewers Live. We check in with Jeff Grayson in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studios. Take it away, Jeff.